working in the industry, whether it's people like Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, or...
Hello guys, it's me in here today. I'm here with another video. Wrestlers you didn't know have sons. Let's go. So their sons might be a future WWE wrestler, you never know.
For the Usos, there are lots of wrestlers whose parents, and sometimes grandparents, had experience in the squared circle. Still, there are some wrestlers whose kids are working in the industry that you might not know about, so let's get to the list. Number 13, Devon Dudley, TNT. Here, we have not one, but two wrestlers following in their father's footsteps. In this case, twin brothers Terrence and Terrell Hughes. You may recall seeing the Hughes brothers during Devon's run in TNA Wrestling during his feud against Bubba Ray and D'Angelo De Niro. Now, TNT, as they're known, work in Conquer Pro Wrestling and have their first championship, the promotion's CPW Tag Team Championship. Given their dad's plethora of tag team titles with tag partner Bubba Ray Dudley, TNT have a long way to go before they can capture the same number of titles as the Dudleys. Still, it looks like they're off to a great start. Number 12, Ming, or King Haku, Tavita. Over the years, legends have arisen about Ming's toughness, whether it's the story of how he yanked a man's teeth out during a fight, or how he knocked someone through two doors with one blow. Hailing from the Isle of Tonga, Haku worked in the WWF in singles action and in tag team action as part of the Islanders. He also became King Haku after defeating Harley Race for the WWF's pseudo championship, the King of the Ring. Like Race, Haku's reputation is also said to have commanded respect from Andre the Giant. Now, the family tradition continues with Ming's son, Tavita, who worked briefly in WWE as Camacho. Camacho teamed up with Hunico but couldn't impress WWE management. As a singles competitor, Camacho had matches with the likes of Tyson Kidd, Bo Dallas, Adam Rose, Big E, Seth Rollins, and many more in both NXT and WWE. Camacho parted ways with WWE in June 2014. They are currently working in New Japan as the Guerrillas of Destiny. The Guerrillas have already held the NJPW Tag Team titles.
That guy with the beard seems so familiar.
Twice. Number 11, Dynamite Kid, Brownie Billington. Dynamite Kid, aka Tom Billington, was considered one of the industry's best workers long before his days in the WWF as one half of the British Bulldogs. Dynamite's matches would inspire stars like Chris Benoit, as Dynamite proved that smaller wrestlers could be entertaining with fast-paced and high-flying matches. Now, Billington's daughter Brownie is in the business since 2003, acting as the Dynamite Doll, valet and manager for her husband.
I did not know Dynamite Kid ever had a kid. Well, I think maybe, but there's some of these people who I don't even know how have kids. I kind of knew Devon kind of had a kid.
Husband, Dynamite Dan Vandergright. While Dynamite Doll is currently on the indie scene, she could be a phone call away from hitting the big time. Number 10, Fit Finlay, Dave Finlay. Known as one of the toughest men in the wrestling business, Fit Finlay wrestled around the world, showcasing a technical ability that made him a wrestler's wrestler. Now, Finlay's son Dave has followed in his footsteps, making his wrestling debut in 2012 for European Wrestling Promotion, where he and his father won a tag team Irish street fight against Dan Collis and Robbie Brookside. During the course of 2014, Finlay wrestled throughout numerous promotions across the world, in the States and in Europe. Some of the names include Universal Independent Wrestling, Southern Fried Championship Wrestling, Superstars of Wrestling, Fighting Spirit Wrestling, and Sports Entertainment Wrestling. Finlay made his New Japan Pro Wrestling debut in March of 2015. He won the Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championship with teammates Ricochet and Satoshi Kojima by defeating Bullet Club members Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. Keep in mind that New Japan is particular about hiring foreign wrestlers, only bringing in top names and/or phenomenal wrestlers. In February 2016, Finlay...
I think I heard Adam Cole returning to the NXT. I think that's what I heard. Because I heard Adam Cole might be debuting in NXT one day.
Made his ROH debut during Night 2 of ROH New Japan Honor Rising. He's a good candidate for WWE to work with. Number 9, Big John Studd, Sean Studd.
I watched an interview on some video. I already knew Big John Studd had a kid.
John Studd, aka John William Minton's on and off feud with Andre the Giant was one of the biggest, no pun intended, matches of the first WrestleMania. Studd remained a top name in the WWF, teaming with King Kong Bundy before taking time off, returning as a face. Sadly, Studd died of Hodgkin's disease at 47, but his son Sean continues the family legacy. Sean Studd has been
He actually looks like his dad. That's actually pretty perfect.
wrestling since 2015, largely in Maryland Championship Pro Wrestling, where he held the promotion's heavyweight championship. Sean trained in Booker T's Reality of Wrestling promotion also, and debuted in 2015 in a WWE ring viewed by SmackDown officials arranged by Booker T. The officials were impressed by him and said he will be called when they need talent. Number 8, Harley Race, Leland Race. Handsome Harley Race was a legendary tag team in Single Star, but was best known for his 7 reigns, a record at the time, as NWA World Heavyweight Champion, back when champions had to be able to deal with a shoot in the ring if a promoter tried to double-cross them. Race's toughness was legendary, and he was one of the few people that even Andre the Giant wouldn't mess with. Race's son Leland has been wrestling since he was 18 years old, and at 32, he's worked in his dad's World League Wrestling promotion as well as New Japan Pro Wrestling. If Leland Race is half as tough as his dad, the WWE's top stars had better watch out. Number 7, Robbie Brookside, Zia Brookside. Robbie Brookside may be one of the best wrestlers out there, but unless you've lived in the UK, chances are you probably haven't seen him, save for a brief spell in WCW and occasional matches for WWE. However, Brookside was a decorated wrestler, having won many championships in the UK, and wrestler Daniel Bryan reportedly lists his 2003 match with Brookside as the best match he's ever wrestled. Now, Brookside's daughter Zia is continuing the family tradition, working in a number of independents such as ICW and PWU, holding the Women's Championship. Number 6, Brutus Beefcake, Baby Beefcake. Well, Baby Beefcake might not be the best name for a women's wrestler.
What?
Brutus Beefcake's daughter Alana Leslie trained in Jersey Championship Wrestling back in 2013 and has gone with that moniker. Although she has yet to work a match or even work as a manager or valet, Alana's dad's name value should get her in the door anywhere she's willing to put the time and effort into becoming a star. Brutus Beefcake was a supporting player in the WWF during the rock and wrestling era of the 80s, working in the upper card and even main eventing alongside Hulk Hogan at 1990's SummerSlam. It would be interesting to see what Baby Beefcake could do if WWE hires her. Number 5, Mr. Perfect, Amy Hennig.
Are you kidding me? So he has a daughter and a son?
Most WWE fans know that Curtis Axel is the son of Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig, and they may even recall hearing how Curtis got diarrhea after his dad gave him Vinimac's defunct nutritional supplement, IcoPro. Chances are, they don't know that Hennig's daughter Amy trained under the legendary NWA World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race, working in women's wrestling out in the Midwest. In 2008, Hennig made her debut for World League Wrestling, or WLW, and in the same year defeated Stacey O'Brien for the WLW Ladies Championship in Warsaw, Missouri. While Amy hasn't wrestled in several years, she's still got lots of years ahead of her, so don't rule out an appearance in the WWE. Just imagine how cool it would be to see her film vignettes just like her dad did, getting a hole-in-one in golf, hitting a home run in baseball, or bowling a perfect game 300 in bowling. By the way, guys, she's nicknamed Miss Perfect. Number 4, Big Van Vader, Jesse White. Big man Leon White began wrestling.
I heard Vader might be dying in 2 years or so, because that's what he said on Twitter or something like that. I don't know. He said he won't live over 2 years, so we'll miss you, Vader. Please stay with us.
In the American Wrestling Association before gaining fame in New Japan Pro Wrestling as one of the most agile big men in the business. It wasn't long before the big promotions started calling, and WCW brought Vader in for a memorable run, including 3 reigns as WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Vader trained his son Jesse and helped him break into the business, teaming up with him for tag matches in New Japan in 2010 and 2011. Jesse went on to work in the WWE's Florida developmental territory in 2011, wrestling as Jake Carter and continuing when it changed to NXT. However, Jesse's career seemed to hit a wall and he was released in 2013. Although Jesse appears to be done with wrestling in the ring, he is dating WWE announcer JoJo Offerman, so he may be doing another kind of wrestling. Number 3, Scott Hall, Cody Hall. Hey yo, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of the bad guy, Razor Ramon? If not, how about Scott Hall's son, Cody Hall? Cody began training under Scott Hall and worked in several independent promotions. In 2015, Cody joined New Japan Pro Wrestling's dojo. Hall would join the promotion's infamous faction, the Bullet Club, working until April 2016 when he was put on the shelf due to an injury. Hall was released in January 2017, but like his father, he may be a late bloomer waiting for the right opportunity to become a top star.
If you miss old wrestlers, just hope they have a son, and then their son can take over.
Keep in mind that Cody's dad worked with mixed success in the 1980s, winning the AWA World Tag Team Championship with Curt Hennig, but seeing his career sputter afterwards. A run in WCW as the Diamond Stud during the 90s saw Hall's career on life support until WWF hired him, giving him a chance to go with an idea that he pitched, that of Cuban bad guy Razor Ramon. Hall parlayed his success into a lucrative contract with WCW. Could history repeat itself with Cody coming into his own at a later age? By the way, on March 13, 2017, the Japanese wrestling Noah promotion announced that Hall would start working regularly for the promotion on April 11th. Number 2, Roddy Piper, Colt Toombs. Roddy Piper, aka Roderick Toombs, had a son by the name of Colt Toombs. Colt cut his wrestling teeth at a young age, appearing as a youngster during Roddy's feud with Hollywood Hulk Hogan in WCW. According to Piper's memoir, Roddy, Colt even negotiated a pay raise for his on-air appearance for that episode of Monday Nitro, proving himself a chip off the old block. Colt started out in the MMA, but his dad always knew he had it in him to become a wrestler. Back in 2013, Proud Papa said of his son, "He's a natural." Now comes the question of what Colt decides to do with it. I'm trying to mostly stay away from it. His name is Colt Toombs. He is undefeated as an MMA fighter as an amateur, and he always fights under his real name, Toombs. He's making his own headway, on his own terms, with his own name, and I'm extremely proud of him. Toombs is undefeated as an amateur with 4 wins and 1 loss as a pro. He was defeated by Art Bakura. Back in 2013 and 2014, Toombs wrestled in various independent promotions like Portland Wrestling. He's 28 years old and still has a chance to debut in WWE. Hope he's as good as his father. Speaking of their relationship, the love between father and son was mutual. "He's my best friend," Roddy said in an impromptu interview with TMZ Sports. Number 1, Chris Benoit, David Benoit.
Please don't tell me Chris Benoit. Didn't he murder his son? Wait, 1 second.
While Chris Benoit will forever be associated with his horrific crimes, his talent inside the ring cannot be denied. Benoit worked tirelessly to overcome his small stature, becoming an accomplished technical wrestler and an international star. David Benoit is the eldest son of Chris and his first wife.
Wait, what? I thought his son was murdered. I thought he murdered his son and wife. Wait, what?
Martina Benoit. What's surprising is that WWE invited David to a SmackDown exclusive WWE live event, and he was seen backstage as well. In fact, he was in the ring before they started letting fans into the building. Who would have thought David, with his last name, would be invited by WWE? Anyways, rumor has it that Benoit's son David began training with David Hart Smith, and while David's resemblance to his dad and the family name may make breaking into wrestling difficult, don't rule anything out. If David Benoit shows the talent and drive as his father, it's only a matter of time before a promotion takes a chance on him. In case you didn't know, guys, Chris Benoit first married David's mother Martina and had a daughter named Megan Benoit as well. Eventually, Chris and Martina parted ways, and Chris began a relationship with Kevin Sullivan's ex-wife Nancy.
Oh, okay. I guess he was another son of his. Okay, now I get it now. I was so confused. I was like, is his son still alive?
Sullivan. The two married and had their son Daniel Benoit in 2000. And, well, as we all know, in June of 2007, the police discovered the bodies of Daniel, Nancy, and Chris at Benoit's home. And guys, straight up, Chris Benoit's actions had nothing to do with David, so it would be wrong if WWE refuses to give him an opportunity because of his father's actions. What do you think? Give us your answers to that question, and give us any other second or third generation superstar.
But people say that Kevin Sullivan literally murdered Benoit and Nancy and his son. That was the rumor. But, come on, please, bro. If you bring David Benoit into the WWE, I would really be happy. I've been a fan of Chris Benoit before. Until something happened where he I don't even know. If people were saying it was Kevin Sullivan who murdered him and his wife and everything. But people were saying that he murdered his wife, but I don't know. Well, I guess that was shocking. Oh my lord, that reaction of mine. Oh my lord, bro. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. Peace out, Aiden Empire.